Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2012 BMW 550i. Up front is a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, and down below is a 6-speed manual transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this 550i for two reasons. First of all, it's manual. I haven't driven an F10 in manual before, so I'm excited to do that here today. But the second reason is that this has a little bit of work done to it. It's about a stage 2 tune on it. Should be making around 500 horsepower, and I'm excited to dig into that with you here today. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. But let's get back to that 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. Well, to say it's a problematic engine is underselling it by quite a bit. It is easier to list the things not wrong with this engine or that isn't problematic than it is to list things that are. Valve stem seals, bad. Timing chain, bad. Cooling system, just in general, bad. Rod bearings, still bad. This is a problem child. However, just like the problem children I've met in real life and the people that I know in my life that are problematic, they know how to have fun. A broken home produces the best friends, and this is most certainly that. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's lovely. I'm not a big fan of modern BMW manuals, but this feels very, very good. It does have a new clutch in it. It's so light and forgiving. It's very present, and it's so satisfying to put it into gear. It just works so incredibly well. The clutch is light and friendly and inviting, and then it's controlling this 500 horsepower problematic celebrity under the hood, but that's okay. Last but not least about the drivetrain, this is of course rear wheel drive. So if you thought that traction was going to fix all of your problems, you might want to think again. All right, here we go. Traction control has to intervene. Oh, that's just... That's a brute. That's a brute. I didn't think it was going to stop going, and I don't think it will. This car's acceleration from 60 to 130 is nearly unmatched. It wants to just keep going. It wants you to disobey, and it won't stop until this is chucked into low Earth orbit. How does it feel to drive the 550i? It's actually very, very wonderful. Not only is the suspension great, which can be adjusted with active dampers in the sport mode, but everything is simple. Everything is friendly. It's easy to just kind of sit in this car and cruise. It's easy to go downtown. It's easy to drive. And I just didn't expect that. I expected this big 550 to be kind of menacing, but behind the wheel, I might as well be in a 99 Corolla. That's just how inviting it is. Now, I make a lot more power than a Corolla, but that's the warm invitingness that I feel. And that is something that is just so beyond lovely. Visibility's fine, ride quality fine, there you go. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. Off to the left is my fuel and speedometer, and off to the right is the tachometer and oil temperature. That's it. On the steering wheel, we do get cruise control off to the left, mode, volume, and phone options off to the right. And off to the left of the steering wheel, we do have a climate control vent, headlight switch, fog light switch, and a big cubby found down below. Moving on to the door, we have some nice wood accenting, power mirrors, and power windows. And moving into the center, we do have an infotainment system. This is the old iDrive system that I particularly don't get along with. I've reviewed a bunch of cars from this era, and the systems just don't hold up well. Maybe they were okay back in the day, but now that they have a couple years on them and a bunch of miles on them, they don't really like to play well with others, so it's very forgettable, or at least I wish I could forget the iDrive system because it's not very good. Down below, we do have our hazard switch, central locking, and climate control vents, and then we have our favorite buttons for the radio as well as you can set these to navigational points and favorite things. We have a CD player and whatnot, and then we have our climate controls, dual zone climate. As you can see, a little bit of quality issues here with some of the buttons, but very typical of post-recession vehicles just in general, so I can't really knock it too hard. And we do have heated seats. Ashtray and cigarette lighter down below that, and off to the left of the shifter, we have our traction control off, which I am not touching here today. I would like extra traction if possible. And then our drive modes for Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort. However, we don't have an eco mode because we're men of culture. We do get the shifter in the center, very dignified shifter, very good looking shifter. Absolutely adore this. Power parking brake in the center, and then we have our iDrive adjuster off to the right. Very clicky and notchy, and the selector itself feels very good. I just don't overly love the software in which it's controlling. We do get a tiny cup holder. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and it fails. Could have bet $1 million on that. And then we do get a center console. The seats are comfortable. They're heated, power, and memory. They're very comfortable. That is where this definitely feels very much like an executive car. Maybe not the bark and growl coming from under the hood, but certainly in the seat and the seating position. I'm very comfortable, and I like it quite a bit. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2011 BMW 550i, and a couple of things to note. We do have lights up above. We have climate control vents down here, 12-volt outlet. We do get a center console with pop-open cup holders, and of course, I have plenty of space. The 3 Series of this era, still a little bit cramped, a little bit small. Not the smallest car ever, but not huge either. This is where you really start to feel the executive level of the car. It's a lot more comfortable, a lot more spacious. My knees aren't hitting the seat in front of me. My head's not hitting the ceiling, and I'm 5'11" and not a small guy. So I still get great amenities back here. I have the power windows. I have the nice little wood trim, and it's just a nice place to be. The back of a 5 Series is a good place to be, and when there's a fire-breathing 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 under the hood, definitely helps out the situation. Not going to say that it doesn't. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the 550i, we do have a button in here, and we get a trunk. It's a big executive level trunk. Something I do find funny though is that they used to give you a toolkit. Now they just give you a number to call, a sign of the times over at BMW. But that's the trunk around the back of the 550i. Now we gotta talk about the looks. I don't overly love the F10 generation. I don't think it's the prettiest BMW ever made. However, I do want to say that I think this has aged incredibly gracefully. The fact that this is 14 years old, this car almost has its learner's permit, and it still looks this good. It looks modern. If you chucked this onto a modern BMW showroom floor, I don't think many people would bat an eye at it. And that is a true testament to quality design. However, with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the F10 550i with a little bit of help from some ECU tuning? Well, this has been honestly a really great experience. It drives so freaking good. It's comfortable and plush and everything you want a BMW 5 Series to be at slow speeds. But then when you dig into it, when you get your claws into the fleshy underbody of this BMW, that's when it comes alive and it totally switches. It stops being this executive car with boring spreadsheets and a weekly visit to HR and becomes HR's worst nightmare. It becomes the loud, brash guy at the office. It's the guy that torments the water cooler. This car has a singing, screaming devil within, and it's that 4.4-liter twin turbo. However, just like any other demon, they're incredibly unpredictable, problematic, and just somewhat evil. This engine feels evil. I feel like I need to spray this car with holy water before I give it back. If you want to talk to this 4.4-liter, you can. You just have to buy a Ouija board before you do so. This car, quite frankly, needs an exorcism, and I'm not sure I have the credentials nor the strength to give it one. But for now, we're getting by, and I'm enjoying the splendors of this car. I just can't say I hope to find one under my bed. Ooh. Oh, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Adarsh for letting me borrow his 550i. What an insane lunatic of a man for building power out of this. Maybe he's just a glutton for punishment, but I'm appreciative of him no matter what the case is. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.